All right, so we are in serious focus mode now. We're going to knock out these design patterns, and then we're going to talk about some job prep stuff. And that's what's on the menu for today. So, oh, and I have a meeting right after this, so I got to like bounce right at 4, but you know, feel free to Slack me and all that. Design patterns are a way of writing code in a way that is easily repeatable, and it makes writing code simpler. This is like not quite software architecting where we're thinking about the entire project, but just like, hey, I need to make a thing. Here's a template for making that thing. So we don't have to make design decisions every single time we need to make a new thing. That's the whole point of design patterns. These are all in that probable happiness repo in the design patterns bucket. I just added one more for y'all. And this is, I think, the one that we've seen the most. So constructors are just used with objects, so we can make a lot of the same one. I'm going to open up CodePen too, so we can take a look. Yes, I have abused that one already. Excellent. Excellent. Pickled pens. Let me open up the console. Item name is not defined. All right, well, I guess I need to put that one at the bottom. Are you going to get a two-part? Excellent. Excellent. So this is what it gives us. We got an object, and then we got our actual thing from the object. So the constructors are a special code unit. Yes. So what it said. So this is what the constructor looks like. It builds things. It builds baked goods here. We give it our parameters of what we want it to be, and then we use the this scoping to have it actually make our item when we make a new one. So we have name, type, count, and price. We assign them all here with this scoping context, and then we make new ones. So it's a bear claw, it's a pastry. They've got 10 of them, they're $5. And we got chocolate chip cookies. Excellent. And then we can come down here, we can print the whole object because it's an object, because we made a new object, or we can access the items in the object using object notation, which is dot. We can also use bracket notation or object notation. I'm sorry, our array notation, if we want to. So like if you wanted to access thing by number, you could do that too. Typically we use the object notation, the dot notation, because they're objects. And then also notice things need to be properly scoped. If they are not properly scoped, we get errors. This one we've seen a lot, so I kind of just breezed through it. Any questions about this?
And this is a design pattern?
Mm-hmm.
Which design?
Constructor.
Okay, because I was thinking of CSS, so I was a little confused.
No, not like design, like make it pretty, but design like how am I going to build things?
What type of design pattern was this one again? Sorry.
This one's a constructor.
Constructor? Okay.
Cool. Any other questions about this one? This one we've seen before. The rest of them will probably go slower, but this one we've seen before and used it before, so I'm just kind of like, here it be. Here's a formal definition. Thumbs up, thumb down. How we feel about it?
In Slack?
No.
Thank you.
All right. Yes, we've used this one before. You guys probably use this one in your group project too, honestly. All right, excellent. Moving on. So the next ones are ones that we haven't really used. So I have code demos here, and I also have an article for you guys. So all of these patterns are just trying to solve the problem of how do I make multiple things without remaking things every single time I need a new thing. That is what we're trying to solve. So constructors are just like, here's a template, follow the template. And that is one way to solve this problem. The next ones are modules. Boop, boop, boop. Isn't this gross? I'm just kidding. They're fine. Let's get some formal definitions of this guy. We'll talk about singletons in a second. I want modules. Sorry, y'all. This is not in the order I thought it was in. Are they calling it something different here? Is that why I'm having a moment? Yeah. I don't think that's the article I actually wanted to post. Oops. That's okay. I'll just post all of them. Here we are back on Medium again. So sad. I posted this article in Slack for y'all. Okay. Once you're hot, shocking. You got the plague. I'm sorry. Oh. Okay. So what does this, God, go away. What does this, it's a design pattern which we wrap a set of variables and functions together into a single scope. What does that sound like?
It sounds like local scope.
So what is that? If it's a local scope that has variables and functions. What about parameters and methods?
I was about to say function. That was a very dumb answer.
What else we got? So it's not a function. It's not a variable. It's a thing that contains parameters and methods. I promise. Sounds like an object. There we go. Yep. They're objects. Yeah. So modules are like building objects out. That's okay. Promise isn't a terrible guess. Promises have those. So that's not a terrible guess. So that's what it looks like. Yay! I don't think I like the module one I have. This isn't terrible, but I don't like it. So I might just copy paste over this code because I like this code more. This article is in your Slack channel. So I put this in Slack for y'all. But yeah, so modules are just, we make little snippets of code that we can use somewhere else. So we got object, wonderful. Then we get to use it. Cool. Whoa, that was weird. Yeah, we're just talking about a new design pattern. Sorry, y'all, I'm having a moment. I'm trying to figure out what. Oh, okay. So what this code is saying here is like if you want to use private data. So in other languages, we add, you might have seen this in like demos and stuff, that like it'll say public or private in front of a variable. Excellent. Everybody having their own equipment does make life easier. So in other programming languages, things, we can just tell it to be private or public, and we don't have to do this kind of like dance to make it behave how we want. But JavaScript doesn't really care. If you're in the proper scope, JavaScript will just give you whatever you want. It doesn't care. So this is just adding a little bit of code flavor, so that way you can't just directly access data. To be honest, would this be how I would make this private? Probably not. But it is a way to do it. Like if you just need it to be a little bit more sophisticated, then like this is totally valid. Like maybe you just want it to be like, you know, click to reveal answer or something. This is a totally valid way to do it. This is not like encryption or anything. This would just be like a way for you to make it a little bit harder. He hates it. Oh no. Oh, that sucks. Yeah. Yeah. Ugh. Sorry, my mom texted me. Wants to be with other kids. Yeah, I could feel that. I definitely couldn't be an only kid by myself. I've always had my brother. We've always been, you know, two halves of a whole idiot. Yeah. Yeah, there's definitely no doubt in my mind that some kids are just not built for it. Like, I probably would have enjoyed online class, but like, I don't like people. So like, if somebody would have told me, hey, all you need to do is just complete this stuff and sit here while the other person's talking, and then you can do whatever you want, I would be like, yeah. Would I learn anything? Oh, probably not. For sure, probably not. But I would have enjoyed it. Like just be reading the whole time the teacher's talking would have been great. Would not have been a successful student for sure, but would have enjoyed it. Yeah, hasn't been focusing. Yeah, that's hard. A little. I mean, like I find it hard to focus on an online class, and I'm an adult who's like paying for my school, and I'm still like, whenever I do like my Docker class or something, I'm just like, you know, yeah, that's hard. Oh, that's good. Yeah. Cool. All right. So modules are basically objects, and we can do a little bit of sophistication. Oh, that's not fun. Well, hopefully he learned and will just keep missing stuff. Yeah. So the other nice thing is with these, we can just export these objects. You know, that's probably also why they're called modules. So I feel like modules aren't terrible. So we got constructors, we got modules. Feel good about both of those? Cool. I think both of these make sense. I think he knows now. Excellent. It only takes a couple times. Most kids are smart. They'll learn that their actions have repercussions. All right. Oh, you hear that bird? Their cat was like dead asleep, and there's just a very quiet bird chirping outside and chewing. So, just like, birds. So the next one is factory, which is kind of like our constructors. They're similar. They're not exactly the same. Similar. So factories are made to build many duplicates of the same type. So notice here we have our first object constructor. It's a function. It's called factory. It's not like a super keyword. You can make it whatever you want. And so then we're doing create an employee, and then notice this is a function. It's just narrow function. Then we return an employee at the end, which makes sense because it's called create employee. Then we just got a couple pieces that go through and decide what type of employee it is. And then over here, we have these variable functions that we can make whatever we want, which is really nice. We want to go be a contractor because they get paid more. This just helps print stuff, and then we get to make new ones. So pretty similar to our constructor, except for factories allow us to build functions outside. Factories are made to build a lot of similar items. So like, factories like cars. And so like this is going to make a lot of employees, and then it'll push all of the employees to the new factory, which is exciting. So let's take a look. So they're close to constructors, except for we get to pull some methods out, which is nice because then we can have it run. We can have those functions change without changing the original object, which can be very useful for maintainability. Yep. And then there we go. There's all of our stuff. And if we wanted to, we could make, more than one full-time, more than one part-time, all that. So it has an array of employees, and so maybe this would be like payroll is our new array of employees. And then we push all of the employees that we need to do payroll for. And then we just print out all of their rates. So factories are a lot like constructors, except for we get to pull stuff out a little bit more, which gives us a lot more maintainability benefits. So that way we could change just one method without changing the entire object. I guess technically they're not called methods anymore because they're in their own scope. Functions. But they kind of behave like methods. Like you probably wouldn't use, like you're probably not going to use this somewhere else. You could though. You could take this and use this somewhere else, but you're probably not going to. And put this inside for you. How's this one feel? This one's a little bit different. I think modules and constructors are fine. We use those. I think those make sense. This one's kind of weird. You have an off-topic question for later? Okay. We're still in series mode, but when we go on our break, we can ask that. Cool. Cool. All right. So any questions about factories? And let's find a formal definition too. And the other thing I think is really important is that, I don't know if you guys saw it, but it was like in class-based things. I like this picture. This picture's nice. I'm going to start with this too. We use this because, like, remember when we talked about classes, I don't know, a week ago, 2 weeks ago? For JS, yes. And how like classes don't super exist in JavaScript, but we kind of like talked about them for a little bit. Factories are an implementation of that. So like we just get a bunch of stuff from our parent class and we get to reuse it. So this one's kind of weird in JavaScript. It can be very useful though. So like, you know, we ask our shape factory to go and make a shape, and all of that stuff is already inherited and set up, which is nice. This is really useful for when you have a lot of similar code that you don't want to rewrite, but there are edits you need to do. So like building a car, there's a lot of steps that are the same no matter what kind of car it is. But like, you know, a Porsche is different from a Volkswagen. Like the engine's the same, but we got to put different stickers on it. So, you know, you've got build card function, and then you got, you know, build, you know, Porsche function, put different stickers on it. And then your factory is the thing that manages that flow. How we feel about factories.
Okay.
Okay, yeah. These are, like, if you understand inheritance, you can use factories. Is this one critical for you to know as a JavaScript developer? If you understand constructors and modules, UG2G, these other ones are to build up your technical skills and to start to think about how do you build software effectively. So like that's where we're trying to get you to get. Sorry, there's a really weird noise outside. I don't know what it was. I don't know if it was a dog or a chainsaw or what. There's a weird noise. Oh, I'm not saying. So. Come on, dude. Come on, dude. Strike again. It's Tuesday. I don't know what it was. I don't see anybody outside. Like there's some dude with his dog, maybe. No, I was right. It's a saw. Homeboy's out here in basketball shorts and flip-flops, hand sawing some wood. No, I don't know. I don't know who it is. It's just some dude. Again. I don't know who this dude is. He's just going through. Yeah, you know, something tells me that the lack of shirt and proper footwear, maybe not. Anyways, that was weird. Pray. That's all we can do at this point. That's funny. Okay. So our next design pattern is pretty, it sounds like it's not useful. Like when I explain this, you will be like, why? But it does actually have a lot of usefulness to it. So a singleton pattern only lets you have one instance of something, an object or a class, mostly objects, which like you're like, why? The big thing is because like you don't want to have multiple instances of some things going on. So we use the singleton pattern to enforce that, because like we don't want multiple instances of express running. We don't want multiple instances of like your MySQL connection running, right? You want one connection and that's it. So that's what singletons are used for, is they enforce this so that way you don't have to worry about overwriting old instances. Singletons are typically used to regulate like your global stuff. So like we got a log, and then we make a singleton, and it creates the instance, and then we only use the one, which is very nice. And then things won't overwrite each other, which is really nice. So that's the whole point of singletons, is there's just some kind of type enforcement, so that way you don't have to stress about getting globally scoped things that you need to stay the same overwritten. I don't think this is terrible either. Like the factory one, I think is a little bit brain melty, but I think everybody else isn't too terrible. Like we got a singleton, make a new instance, create an instance. I'm going to run this because I think this is true. Lindsay, I'm going to keep you.
Oh, my bad.
It's all good. Homeboy has started a new job. All right. So we got our singleton. He's an immediately invoking function. We haven't seen those in a while. What's an immediately invoking function? How is it different from a regular function?
It immediately starts?
It immediately runs itself. We don't have to call it anywhere. It just runs. Exactly. Exactly. Y'all. Exactly. I think it was a combination of excellent and exactly. I hope you like my new word.
I will be using it.
Exactly. All right. So whatever. We got our immediately invoking function, and we just got a regular function that makes two instances. So here's what we want to say. Are these two instances the same instance? What do we think? We only got two answers here. It's yes or no. What do we think?
Yes.
Yep. Okay. And we got a yes and a no. All right, let's see. Yes. They're the same instance because singletons do not allow us to create multiple instances. That's their whole thing, is they're like, nah. This is it. And so that's what they do. And so they're really useful for making sure that we don't overwrite something in the global scope. Again, like when we build like connections, like a SQL connection, that's a singleton because we only have the one SQL connection and that's it. We don't want to build it anywhere else. That's probably like the one that you guys use the most is setting up connections and stuff that they're singletons. But this can also be used for like making sure you're not importing multiple modules that are the same thing, making sure that different scope data isn't overriding itself, all that kind of stuff. So none of these are too terrible so far. How we feel? All right, let me save this guy. How we feel about singletons? Okay. Yeah, not terrible. I think the hard.
So it's still going to be the same thing, even though you named it a different variable? Still the same thing? Okay.
Yeah, so because it just makes a new one, it will just like get rid of it.
Yeah. Okay.
Yeah.
All
So like,
right.
with a normal object, if we were just making new objects, we could do that, and it would let us make two instances. But this one's like, no, thank you, goodbye. So we create it, and then that's just what it does in this new one. We can also like ask it to print it if we wanted to. Cool. Excellent. All right. So the next design pattern is a little bit bigger. All of these we've been able to see with just one JavaScript file, about like 20 lines of code. MVC is a little bit bigger. We're gonna have to draw some pictures too, so I gotta clean the whiteboard. And we're about at break time too. So ZZ, what was your off-topic question?
My topic question was, is there a job that pays like $100 an hour? Like, is that a thing?
I don't know. Here, hang on. I'm gonna do some math. Yeah, probably somewhere. Okay, so let's see. 30 times. Oops. No. I don't want whatever that stupid movie is. I want to know. Oops. 52. So, yeah. So my new job, I will get paid like $40 an hour.
Ooh.
So that would mean Let me do some math. Oops. Yeah, and then the boy's going to make about $50 an hour. So that means that you need to be making like $200,000 a year. Now, it would probably say like 220. Because that puts you at 105, and then with taxes, that probably puts you there. So like with taxes, you probably need to be making like 220 a year if you want to make $100 an hour. Now, that being said, like there's some things to think about, like that puts you in a totally different tax bracket. And so you'll be getting taxed a lot higher. So once you are talking about that kind of pay range, you typically are starting to look at other things besides just money. So like, do they pay for your health insurance? Do they pre-tax your retirement stuff income? Yeah. Once you get past like, you know, the six figures, you probably want them to push money somewhere else. Life coaches and underwater welders can get paid that much? Probably. I wouldn't want to be an underwater welder though. That's some hard work.
I still can't swim.
Yeah, that'll make it a little harder.
That'd be funny. They'd be like, is she drowning? No, she's just welding. No, I'm drowning!
Yep. But yeah, you know, there's definitely, you know, tech is not the only field that you can make bank in, for sure. That being said, is this like a reasonable path to get there? Totally. In Augusta, you're gonna be struggling a little bit to get there, but like, you know, it's not an unreasonable goal. I mean, I think that's like your 5-10 year goal from now, but like if you work hard and find a company like that's willing to pay you that much. Yeah, here's what you do. You get a company that's based in an expensive city like New York or LA, and then you don't live there. So then you get paid LA prices, but you live in like Bakersfield.
But they still take tax out of it though?
Yes. So you also will have to pay 2 taxes. If you live somewhere and work in a different state, you have to fill out tax forms for both states. So like my company is based out of Missouri. So I will have to do my 2020 taxes will have a Missouri tax form and a Georgia tax form. I'm not getting taxed twice per se, but I have to have both of them show up, and one of the states will take their taxes.
But not both of them?
But not both of them, yeah. Now, if I owned property here, yeah, if you move, you have to do taxes for the state you lived in, blah, blah, blah. Yeah. If I owned property, I would have to pay property tax where I own it, and then just my employment tax for the state that I work in. Like out to UGA in Alabama. Yeah. And like I've had to do it before. Like I worked a job in South Carolina. I worked in SRS, worked in MA and lived in CT. Mm-hmm. Yeah. And like it washes out. A lot of times what it ends up being is like you pay taxes somewhere and then you get paid the taxes back in a different state. And so like it ends up being a wash most of the time. But yeah. So to answer your question, yes, you can get paid $100 an hour. Probably not soon.
Yeah, most likely not soon. I just want to be able to move out, and I'm happy with that. Pay my bills, and I'm happy.
Yeah. I mean, honestly, in Georgia, in Augusta, you want to be living by yourself. Like, I live in a nice apartment, and, like, I'm not one of those people who don't like to talk about money. I make $45K, and I don't get health insurance. So I pay, like, $300 a month for health insurance. Through Obamacare. Thanks, Obama. And I live by myself, and like I can pay my bills and all that, and I'm in a nice apartment, which means that I pay too much for my apartment.
And then you got a new job.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, the new job pays almost twice as much. And then I'm moving in with people, so then I have to pay less rent, and I make more money. It's going to be great. I'm going to pay off my student loans. I'm very excited. But yeah, like literally like almost any kind of full-time development job that you make here, you'd be right. You wouldn't get health insurance help unless you're making like $14 an hour or less. Yeah, like if I was still working full-time retail, I would probably get my insurance comped. But with the Obamacare thing, it is a lot easier to apply, and they can't reject you. I don't think they can reject you. It's like the big thing. And you can enroll in weird times too, which is nice. Because like I got into Obamacare because I graduated college and got kicked off my parents' insurance because I had TRICARE. So they kick you off when you're 23 instead of 26. Thanks, military. I want to pay off my card. Yep. But yeah, a starting entry job at most places pays $40K with health insurance here in the tech field, like tax layer RSI, like that's what you're looking at. And like you can totally live comfortably off of $40K by yourself in Augusta. Like you might not be living lavish, but like you be I mean, like if you have a kid or something, you might be like scraping a little bit, but like if you by yourself, 40K is fine. Yeah, 40K supports my whole family here. Yeah, exactly. Like, and that's what most entry level positions are going to be around here. They might dip a little bit with the pandemic, honestly, but like, it's not going to be bad. Augusta is very cheap. Yeah, dirt cheap. And like, you go out of like downtown and like, because I used to live off of Wrightsboro, and those apartments were like the same size as this, and they were like $800 a month, which is like nothing. Yep. Exactly. Yeah, like you got a kid or something, that then you know you probably need more money. But like my kid's really cheap. She doesn't really need to like clothes or anything. I do want to buy her Petco or PetSmart has a Halloween costumes, and they have a little bat costume. I very much want to get her the little bat costume. I think it would be very cute. I think she would murder me, but yeah. She's just asleep on the couch now. If she doesn't malfunction. Yeah, some cats malfunction. I don't know. She doesn't mind the collar, and like she lets me put the collar on her. Are you gonna trick or treat? I'm going to a wedding on Halloween, and I'm very excited. So me and the boy, we're gonna do Beetlejuice. So I'm very excited. I don't know. I don't know if they're feeding us. I got my boy cat to wear a tutu. Yes. But yes, this is what we're gonna do. I think it'll be a lot of fun. I'm very excited. Most weddings do have food, but I don't eat meat, and so I typically don't get to eat at weddings. Yeah. I think Sarah knows that I'm a vegetarian though, so hopefully it'll be aight. But it's okay. Most wedding food sucks anyways. Maybe cake. You can eat cake. Can do cake. So I normally eat before I go to weddings, and then I just like drink, which I'm sure is healthy. But yeah, so I'm super excited. Bring a lunchbox. But yeah, I'm excited. So that's what I'm doing for Halloween, going to a wedding. Try to save some while at the parents. Yep. Yes, for sure. Yeah, you still at home and you working, save all that money. Like without getting like too much into it, like I went through a really bad breakup and I ended up at home for a couple months before I moved back out. And like honestly, like I'd be like, Mom, do you want me to buy groceries? You know, do you want me to help pay rent? You know, because like I was, 24. So, I felt weird of like not paying rent, but like, they were just like, no, it's fine. Yeah. Yeah, if you can afford a house, buy a house. Property is never a bad thing. I rent, but that's because I'm really, really lazy and like I love being able to call someone to have them fix stuff. A big barbecue. Yeah, I'm not picky about people eating meat around me, but like, I would like to be able to eat too. Is the big thing. I don't think I want to live in Augusta. I don't blame you. Good luck getting out, but if you can get out, break free, become one with nature. Cool. Why? Why? It's cold there, homie. You don't like being cold.
I just want to see the Aurora Borealis, just like one time, and then get on the plane and go back home.
They got mosquitoes big enough to carry you away. That's funny. So nowhere else will ever feel cold again. Yeah. I don't know, man. I lived in upstate New York for a long time, and I get cold down here now. So like maybe I need to go spend a winter in like Colorado or something, and then I'll be like, nah, I guess it's nice. Cool. All right. The cold down here is different. It's more humid. It just like sinks into you. Cause like it's not as humid in New York, and so like if you're dry, you're warm. But like here, it's so humid, and it just like sinks into you, and it rains so much. And so like unless you have like really nice boots, your feet get cold because they're wet. It is different. It's like the heat's different here too. Like my grandma lives out in Arizona, and it gets over like 100 most of the summer, but like she can still go walk because it's not humid. Yeah, it's just wet. It's like Hawaii. Hawaii was like that. It would just be rainy and humid, and so like 3 hours out of the day, it's like, hey, it's like you're just like walking around the sauna all day. All right, excellent diversion. Let's go on a break. We'll wrap up NBC stuff because that's going to take a little bit more code, and then Roy will talk about some job stuff, and then that's all we got for today. So I will see you guys back at 2:46. We're back. Pizza roll's too hot. Here, let me find a marker. I also gotta go find some glasses. Yeah. Okay. So all the other design patterns we looked at today, we're looking at resolving the issue of how do I control the way that my code is set up so that way I don't have to remake a bunch of code or I have things scoped improperly. That is what everything we've looked at so far today is looking to resolve. This is a little bit different, but I think it's a pretty popular architecture, so I want to introduce you to it. It's called MVC. It stands for Model, View, Controller. We see this a lot with .NET applications, but it can be used with JavaScript too. I'm still eating my pizza packets because I'm hungry. We got our little dude too. That's our client. Okay. So before I connect all these, stop. The little demon is awake and scratching furniture. She's like, I will cause problems on purpose. Sorry, y'all, that one was all bread. That was very hard to chew. Okay. Just cheese. It's just cheese and sauce. That one was just bread, though. So before I connect all of these pieces, I want to talk about what each of these pieces are. So I'm going to start with the view because I think that's the easiest one. I'm doing some good advertisement. Yeah. I do. I feel like Pizza Roll should sponsor me. I do eat them a lot during class. Eating healthy stuff. I have some blackberries. I think I'm going to eat blackberries as my next snack. I'm going to make myself a bowl of blackberries and go sit outside for my meeting because it's nice out, y'all. All right. So let's talk about all these pieces and then we'll connect them all. Our view is like what we think about when we think about like going to a web page. Go outside. Go play outside. Our view is like what gets rendered. So I think this kind of makes sense since we've already used EJS and we had a whole file called views. And views were what got rendered and what the client saw. So this is, rendered content. So it has a layout and it has data in it. That makes sense? Cool. Our next piece is the model. This says, what should everything look like? Where should I get stuff from? What's going on? That is what our template does. Our controller is the piece that drives all of the action. So this is like our regular node code. So like this is that stuff. You know, this gets information from the database, this updates stuff, this makes the user log in, all that kind of stuff. Do those two pieces make sense? So far, so good? So now let's connect them. So our client interacts with both of these. Our client sees this, and then without really knowing it, they use the controller. So our client makes things happen, which makes sense, right? Like when you click a button, you're changing the state of the program, but you actually see the rendered content. And my little diagram's not going to exactly match theirs. I guess it makes sense to have it like this, because it's a cycle. Does that part make sense, how the user interacts with the program? So once the user has initiated some kind of change, the model needs to change so that the view can be rendered properly. So the controller is our code that actually does things, our node part, most likely, for JavaScript. So it changes where this model is going to get its data, and that template then updates the view. So for example, for your guys' group project, the user adds data to the database, the controller adds the data to the database, updates the model, which then updates the rendered content, which is the admin page. Any questions about the whole cycle? Okay, so I have a question for y'all. Why?
Why what?
Hmm?
I said, why what? Oh, I would say because we like using the internet, and to use the internet, you got to make web pages, and to make web pages, you got to do certain stuff, and to do certain stuff, you need JavaScript, and then you want it to look nice, and to make it look nice, you need that model template, and then you got to put that model template where the user can see it, and then the user sees the model template, and then wants to do stuff, so they need the JavaScript.
Okay, so MVC is a good model for representing how services are set up. Yeah?
I feel like I went off the deep end.
No, I'm just making it shorter, homie. You're fine.
Oh, okay.
No, yeah, I don't think that's a bad definition. So we care about this design. It's good for keeping control and the view part separate. Exactly, yeah. So there's two things here that are really powerful. One, our data and our code are separate. Our controller has all of these pieces in it, but it doesn't touch our viewer or our model, which is really nice. This code separation helps with security. The other piece of this that's really nice is it kind of makes sense. Like, we kind of work like this, like as people, like, you know, you have a finished product, you have a template, and you have a way to do it. So I think this code, this design pattern makes sense for how humans work, and it also helps provide code and data separate. Oh, sorry, I have the hiccups now. I hate my pizza rolls too fast. So sad. So yeah, why is a good question. And that's another big thing with all of these design patterns. That's a big thing that I want you to think about is why. So like, for example, I think the simpleton, milk. Don't drink milk, homie. I got like that soy milk. Oop. I think Tiva's baby is helping us. It's all good. He's learning, or they're learning. I don't know. Oh, Zizi wants baby pics. She's busy. Yep. She's learning. All right. Excellent. And I don't have a code demo for that one because it's a little bit bigger of a thing. That would be like how your whole project gets architected out. I think I probably have one. Let me look through my repo and see if I got one for y'all. Did I pick on my brother? Okay. This is my brother's final project for his, what do you call it? One of his classes. It's really ugly code, honestly, and it's C#, and it's ASP.NET, so it's old code. But if you're interested in seeing what MVC looks like, there you go. I wouldn't stress about it too much, though. But there's an MVC. So we got models, views, controllers. If you want a project that actually uses it. And this project runs and works. It's not perfect, but, you know, it's okay. You passed the class, and that's all that matters. All right. So those are all of our design patterns that I really care about. You use constructors and modules and singletons a lot in JavaScript, so we just have formal definitions for them now. The factory one is nice. It's just like a constructor, but the functions are pulled outside, so you can change those functions too. An MVC is a bigger architecture one. It's just a very common architecture, so I just wanted you guys to see it. So any questions about design patterns? And I shared some links with y'all in Slack, so you got articles and code demos. Excellent. All right. Next, we are going to hop into week 12. So if you guys will notice, week 12 is very light, which is fine because we got a guest lecture on Friday and it's already Tuesday. So what I want to go through is I want to talk about each of these things in depth. We've talked about them passingly before. My glasses are so dirty. They're almost worse than not wearing glasses. So we're going to talk about each piece in depth and how to use it. That's better. Okay. So the first piece is our online presence. And again, like, you do not have to do all of these. The glasses are on. Yeah, I had to put them on when I stood up because I can't see my screen from that far away. Right here, I can see it, but if I stand up, I can't see my screen anymore. I don't know if I need to wear my glasses when I'm coding or not. I should probably ask an optometrist. Oh well. Yeah, I don't know, because I'm nearsighted. So I can see up close. Because like I need them for like driving. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm supposed to wear my glasses or not. I've worn glasses for a while. I should know. But I do not. All right. So you don't need all of these pieces. And I mean, like, technically you don't need any of them. But here's my recommendation. Keep adding code to your GitHub. Put your GitHub everywhere that you have another one of these accounts. Base minimum, you need a resume and you need a GitHub. Everything else, that's an angry dog. I don't know if you can hear that. Everything else is like bonuses. So what should I have on my GitHub? Angry dog. Your GitHub should contain as much stuff as possible. Do not delete old code. Having code history is really nice. Having organizations, which all of you guys, I think you guys are part of the Clubhouse organization, so that's nice. Having lots of contributions, nice. So don't delete stuff, because if you delete stuff, it takes it out of your contribution history. Have reasonable projects that show off your skill and try to finish them. So like, write what it is and what you're doing. And like try to put the things in the title of what they are. Like this is probably a bad like repo for like getting a job. But like these three right here, like Babel, Week 7, and COAS, those are all probably good. Rename some of your weekly assignments to something descriptive. Yep, totally. Go for it. Forking other repos and working on them is also good because it shows you know how to fork things. Again, the silly names are probably not great. Split some of your assignments out, redo them. Yep. But don't be afraid to have stupid things. Like, I don't know what this is. What is this? Cubic function testing? Oh, so this is me like playing and trying to learn how to write cubic functions. Okay, cool. It is okay to have low quality code on your GitHub. They're not gonna like, listen, I will drag myself. I don't care. All right, so let's go to here. And let's look at my really bad code from 3 years ago. Cool, that sucks. And that's okay, you know? Like there has to be a better way to do this. I called the whole thing mathy math. Oh yeah, you know, it's all good. It's a lot of right lines. Yeah, so like, you know, let's see what mathy math has. A bunch of if-else statements. Ooh. Yep. But yeah, you know, that's okay. That was what my code skills looked like 3 years ago, and that's fine. So keep all your old code. It's okay if it's bad. Having that history and improvement is more important than all of your code being perfect. So like, it's fine. Have all your code contributions. Try to make nice streaks, you know, it's not a big deal. It just looks nice. And like, it shows that you can consistently code. Cause like I see some people that like, they only like contribute code like once a week and it's like 15 contributions in one day. And I'm like, oh, you don't understand how to use GitHub. So yeah, you can see right when I started this job because I use GitHub a lot more than when I worked at this job. Because like that, like this year, See, this is what I'm talking about. See, notice I have a bunch of hot spots and then everything else is pretty empty. That's not great. Even though this has a lot more light colored ones and less dark colored ones, it is nice to have the consistency. Pin the projects that you're most happy about. It's been a couple times I did. The number's not super important. It's okay if you have a couple junk contributions. Just try not to make that most of your stuff. And besides, like, find a project you're excited about and you'll make changes in code, you know. Find a class to do, like, here's what I did was the weather thing, the student pack, and I worked on my Docker course. Yeah.
Morgan, a while back you posted something that had like lots of little projects in it, and I didn't keep the link. Could you repost that in Slack?
I think it's part of your syllabus. Let me look. If not, I will find it, or I will find a similar one. I know it's at the end of one of the weeks, but I don't remember what week. I'll find it. Can you send me a Slack message?
I can. I'm driving right now, so when I'm done, I'll send it.
Okay. Yeah, if I don't give it to you, then just Slack me. And so then to answer your question, like, so do they want to see that you work on it often or in it often? Yeah, like consistent contributions show that you can consistently work on stuff. So like start a project, work on the project, finish the project. And like it's totally okay to have a bunch of open projects, just like a bunch of empty repos with nothing in it isn't great. But like, you know, like I think my GitHub's fine because like I have stuff with work on it. I have like consistent stuff. So like I worked on some stuff a couple hours ago, you know, I worked on some stuff a couple days ago, and like it's pretty consistent. Yeah. You know, I should probably have like a nice picture of me, but like this is kind of my branding, and so I have this across all my profiles, so I don't care. I'm gonna hop into my portfolio. Thanks. Put this everywhere, y'all. Have a fabulous space cat. Yeah, it's part of the branding. If you've made a branding choice, you know, you can stick with it. Ain't no big thing. Just make sure it's probably not like exclusive, like, you know, either way, exclusive, like I wouldn't, you know, be like, well, I guess what I mean by exclusive is like radical either way. Like I wouldn't be like, you know, Brony for president 2020 or something, just like, or Kanye for president in 2020, you know, like just a nice neutral branding that you'll enjoy and stick to for a while. And it's okay to go through rebrands, but like, you know, don't go too wild. Cool. So portfolio, it's nice to have a picture of you. It's okay if you don't have one. Write a nice about me. Spend some time with this. You can also just look. I found a template for this and just use the template. So it's who I am, what do I do right now, and I have to update this. Probably not.
I also went through like 3 iterations of it, so I was happy with it. Like they were roughly all the same, but like I changed it up a bunch, kind of started over a couple times. I think that's okay too. But Morgan's right. Once you find like a comfortable thing, like from there, like just kind of add to it and don't like rebrand it all the time. Minor adjustments.
Yeah.
Hello.
Yes, minor adjustments are totally fine. And like if you do a rebranding, that's cool too. Like it's not the end of the world. Rebranding is fine. Yeah. Also, like this is a point for you to like really like highlight your skills and what you're happy with. So like, you know, put things that you're happiest with, like, I tripled site speed, improved security. Hello.
Hello.
You look tired. He left the house like, yay, work, and he just came back like, so. Did you get a coffee?
They did not have it.
They didn't have coffee?
They didn't have your coffee.
Oh. I don't know what I'm gonna do. Okay, well, we'll have to go hunt for some more coffee at some point. Okay. Thank you. Still got pizza pockets. Pizza pockets ain't getting me out of bed in the morning. Guaranteed. That's okay. I have enough coffee that I can make it through tomorrow. Yeah, and that's okay. Like it's going to take some time and like just a cup of sugar. Like my portfolio used to look radically different than this. Like this has gone through 2 really big iterations, like a bunch of minor changes, but like I'm gonna log into Figma and show you what it used to look like. Hello. Who drew your pic? What do you mean? Oh, my little icon? It's a icon generator online. I'll find it. It's I think the watermark's still on the picture. Send me a Slack and I'll send it to you. It's free. So this is what my portfolio used to like. Yeah. Yeah, I can't drink too late. I can drink coffee till like 4 or 5, and then if I drink it past then, I'm not sleeping. Yes, this is what my website used to look like. There's our boy Damien. And that's what it looks like now. You drink coffee, go to sleep. That's how my mom is. She can drink coffee at like 11 o'clock at night and then just go to sleep. So I definitely recommend having a portfolio of work that you like. Yeah, just tastes good. Yeah. I need to put my code pen in this one. I don't have it down here, and I should have it. You don't have to put your Twitter and Instagram if you don't use those for professional stuff. Like I probably shouldn't have my Instagram since it's just my personal. The rest is pass out time. Yep. I need to put my writing stuff in here, and I need to actually update my writing, which is why I don't have it, because I've been bad and I haven't been writing. So I have some work that I'm happy with, and then like I'll probably add stuff as I go. I need to update this because I got to put all the new work on it. You can add cute, fun features. The most important thing though is your contact. You want to have your contact stuff in here. You should probably have your email. I don't recommend just putting your email in plain text, just Jay chillin' on your website, because it can be really easy to get it scammed, and then like you can end up with a bunch of junk emails. But you can do like a mail to link with your email, and that's fine. So your portfolio, I would use your GitHub one because it's free in there. And just use it. You can always do something different if you want to and just host it on Heroku. That's fine. Yeah, an email to link. That's what I would do. Yeah. Like the, like to do like a mail to, I don't know what the actual tag looks like. It looks something like that. And then that way it'll open up an email client. And it's a little bit more, it's a little bit harder to just have it be filled with junk that way. About me is the part that you should spend the most time with. Contact links. Ooh, look at that. Look at you go. All right, Christina has it. Wonderful. What? That's funny. Yeah, Google Meets, you know, does its own thing. Yeah, I recommend having a nice headshot of you. You know, maybe I should put this over here, but importantly, have it be mobile friendly. So like it's a little bit crooked, but like it's whatevs. You know, still works. Still works. For the photo shoot, can we do it outside? Yeah, you can. John's probably going to do it right in front of that big wooden C, just so everybody's looks consistent. Huh, Google Meet strips out the mail too. How interesting. Because it lets me post links. Weird. All right, look at that. We've just learned something about how Google parses Meets information. Well, I'm sure it's trying to prevent like spam stuff, but that's interesting. But yeah, so make sure it's mobile friendly. Like I should probably center this and maybe put this somewhere else. I don't know. But like, you know, mobile friendly, your about me and contact me should be what you really need. You can send CC and BBC in the link too. Which is nice because then you can like put like if you're running like a sales company, you could CC your salesperson. Did you do an error page? I made one, but I think it's the old style. Yeah. Oh no, that's the new one. That's nice. So that's all it is. Oops, I clicked the wrong button. So I have one error page and that's all it is. I should probably update it and make it look more matchy-matchy. Maybe draw something. Cool. So portfolio page should have stuff on it. Most importantly is your about me and your portfolio. Everything else is just nice and a way to contact you in a way that you like actually use. I should probably put these links here too. And my email maybe. But yeah, cool. Any questions about what should be on your portfolio? And I highly recommend you have one. Like GitHub, 10 out of 10 importance, need it. Portfolios, like 9 out of 10 importance. Like, could you theoretically get a job without a portfolio? Sure, but having a portfolio page is very nice. And it doesn't have to be super complicated. Like, you know, this isn't like a crazy intense website, but I'm happy with it. Hardcore site looks really nice. I like his. Oh, see, look, I have it like hotkeyed. Hardcore's is much nicer than mine.
Shut up, me.
That me. Yeah.
Yeah, there's a dark mode, and then there's really fancy. And then learn some Photoshop stuff. And then I did a lot of with the mobile stuff. So if you do mobile, it should have like a different menu.
Ooh.
Yeah. So then it goes like, when you have a little edit. I mean, it just takes a lot of like finicky stuff. Like the problem with CSS is like, it's just a lot of tweaking until you get it right. Like it took me like, let's not front. It took me about a week to make that, and everything worked. Like,
yes. Yeah, mine's probably about a week of work too because all of my stuff resizes dynamically.
Yeah.
But you can play with it over time. And like for you're not sure what to put about me, like you can literally Google like how do I write an about me? Yep. Attended this class, what skills strongest as and a couple hobbies. Yep. And like yeah, put like some stuff that makes you people-y. Like I don't have a lot of people-y stuff. Like in my free time, I enjoy, this is it. This is like the only sentence that I have that's like, I'm a human. So you can do more, I'm a human than that. Maybe not, it's easy. But yeah, you know. All right. What do I want to talk about next? CodePen. Yeah, let's talk, I guess LinkedIn. Let's talk about LinkedIn. I don't like LinkedIn. Here's my LinkedIn. Oh, ugh. Ugh. Annoying. All right, let me figure out what account I'm logged in on LinkedIn with. Like it's Tinder or something. That's funny. Look, there's Chandler. A new job. Yay! Congrats to Chandler. He's probably going to text me like 3 seconds from now, like, what are you doing? From LinkedIn, 8 people swipe right on your profile. All right. Da, 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 da. So LinkedIn, what should you have on it? Nice images. Again, your headshot. Connect to a lot of people because then it makes you look more like a person and you never know. And then I have just, you know, a nice banner picture. This can just be like a picture of Augusta or something. There's Rain and Danny. Not SpongeBob. Yeah, just something nice. You know, very grown up and boring. The more boring you can make your LinkedIn, I think the better. I'm going to actually pick on Chandler real fast because he has a nice LinkedIn about me because I helped him write his. Come on, go to his page. You can put code samples and stuff. So he has a nice little about me. So, you know, what he does. He put Haskell on his LinkedIn. What a nerd. But yeah, so just a couple sentences. What do you do? History. What are your skills? I'm a person. Thank you. So, and then put your experience. And like you can put other stuff too. Like, okay, this is when he worked at the tutoring center. These skills are endorsements are nice. I don't know how to endorse people. Oh, here we go. Okay. What is he good at? He's good at version control. Very good. Relationship. There we go. Great. And I'll try to do that for y'all too. Photoshop on mine. Yep. There's quizzes. Remember, if you're a veteran or active military, you get the LinkedIn Premium for free, and you get those. What do you call it? The LinkedIn classes. Yeah. You can go to other people's profile and like endorse them for skills. All right, let me find someone I know. I'm just not going to care if I like just do stuff. We'll go pick on Damien. What is Damien's top skill? He's good at CSS. Bam. I've endorsed him for a skill. Wonderful. And then here we go. I can go through and just do all this. I don't know. I don't know how you do that. Let me ask Schuster, and Schuster will know. I just know you can. I don't know how you do it, though. So I'll send him a message and ask. But yeah. So be friends with people. Expand your network. I got y'all friend me on LinkedIn. Yeah. Yep. But yeah. Will you please stop being bad? She's so funny. But yeah. As far as like interacting with people, talk to people, like other people's stuff, repost stuff. So like with overselling yourself, honestly, you probably aren't. Most people tend to fall on the other side of the spectrum that they're underselling themselves. And so, like, you know, what are don't eat erasers, you demon cat. You know, like, just be honest. Like, I did a code boot camp. You know, I'm good at CSS, and that's not overselling yourself. Like, saying, "Hey, I know how to do CSS," is not the same thing as like, "I'm an expert in wireframing." Those are two different things, and like, you know, I think you guys will probably undersell yourself. Oh, look, here we go. Here's easy stuff. We'll do with a little, like, that's weird. I give you support. That's weird. I'm going to share Zeezy's post. Great. Just because it's there. But yeah, I don't think y'all will be overselling yourself. I think y'all will be probably underselling yourself. Okay, here we go. You can have some support too. I don't know what that means, but there you go. Post. Share. It's not weird. It's job. Yeah, like, you're probably not going to oversell yourself, honestly. So. Excellent. Cool. So post on stuff, interact with stuff, actually answer. How do you oversell? You say that you know stuff that you don't know. So, like, calling yourselves like DevOps engineers would be overselling yourselves. Being like, I'm in a, you know, UX UI design expert. Nine means no. I know every language even German. Ah, I'm with you. I skipped that part and I was real confused. Putting coding under education. Yeah, that's totally fine. Let's pick on Damien again. Let's see what Damien has. Yeah, and that's the other thing. Like, put stuff that you're comfortable doing. So, like, my resume, like, I'm gonna open up my Google Drive real fast. So, like, oh, I'm not in my right thing. Let's see what he has. So yeah, he has this on there. And he has Hack Atlanta, Hacktoberfest, Augusta Dev. Y'all definitely put, if you spoke at one of the study halls, professional speaking experience. Oh, you got her. You got her with that one. And like, this is really good. It's a 12-week long coding boot camp with the clubhouse accredited by Augusta Technical College. That's good to put on there. Put that you talked at study hall. Put that you attended Augusta Dev. I hope y'all do Hacktoberfest with me. You should. It's a really great thing to put on your stuff. Yeah. It's all going to be in Slack. I'll put everything. It's going to be basically every Thursday in October, 6 p.m. Go I hate LinkedIn, y'all. It's such an unpleasant experience. Okay. But you guys should use LinkedIn. I guess it's good or whatever. Poke is really nice. Reminds me of what? No, MySpace was more of a dumpster fire. All right. Any questions about LinkedIn? No, MySpace is dead. It is done dead, been dead. I wonder what it still looks like. Whoa. This looks totally different. This is like it's more of a music networking site now. Huh. It looks like Yahoo News. I don't know. That's weird. We have spoofy. I'm just thrown off. I don't know. This is very strange. I'm just gonna. I don't want one dead is dead. Yeah, that was weird. That was a very. That's like walking past your old house to see that it's been like bulldozed over. That was a weird experience. Yeah. It was weird. Like my brain literally could not process what I was looking at. Like I was like, cool. Any questions about LinkedIn? Let me do this. Pizza Hut, stop sending me ads. Here's my LinkedIn. Be friends with me, I guess. I don't know what they're called. They're called connections. But yeah, add people from your network. I should probably just add all of these people, but I don't know them. It says that I went to school with this person, but I didn't go to Clemson, so. Also, remember, if you have this and you're actively using it, respond to stuff. Like, you know, if someone messages you, don't just leave them hanging. Like me. I did that. I'm seeing if I know anybody. Is she crazy? I'm just kidding. It's really funny because a lot of these are RSI people. And so, like, some of them I know, but I'm like, nah. I just have to make one. Yeah. I recommend making one just because, like, it's good to have it, but, like, I don't know, man. I don't use mine, so. Also, nice professional headshot. This is nice. This is nice. That one's nice. Maybe not. I guess that's cute, but probably not. Probably not. Probably not. The selfies aren't great. Yeah. Like this one's nice. That one's a little bit too color corrected. I think that one's kind of weird looking. This one's really nice. I don't like that one. I think just a nice headshot. This one's very nice. Something like that is really, really nice. This one's nice. That's a little bit too close. That one's, he just kind of blends in with the door. I also think the ones that are just face are a little bit too hard to register. I think the ones that are like this, that are just shoulders and head, work a little bit better. But yeah, like, I don't know, homegirl with a motorcycle, maybe not. Most of these are nice though. Just a selfie with you in the car though, probably not great. This definitely not great. Put a picture on there. Even like a picture that's just okay is better than no picture. I'm also personally not a fan of the whole body pictures. I think the head and shoulders pictures look nice. They're easier to see. Any questiones about LinkedIn? Also for my ladies, or if, you know, not to be like exclusive or anything, probably don't wear too much makeup. Oh look, there's Donna. Like this picture, like she might be a really wonderful person, but all I'm looking at is like how much eyeshadow she's wearing. And I'm pretty non-judgmental, so, you know, dress nice. Probably no kids or pets in your picture. Don't do too much makeup. Don't do anything too wild. Yeah, makeup is a lot of work, for sure. So like a nice neutral makeup. If you want to wear makeup, you don't have to wear makeup. Just don't go overboard with it. Don't have you like, oh, there's Melissa. You can connect to Melissa. You know, nice neutral makeup, hair looks nice. You know, it doesn't have to be like flattened or styled or anything. Just, you know, not like whack. What's something funny, Zizi?
So when I was a kid, I liked the color blue and I hated pink, and I liked playing with boy toys because boy toys were better than girl toys. Like, they did stuff. So my mom thought I was gonna be a boy, and I was like, "No, mom, I'm still a girl. I like boy stuff."
Yep. Yep. But yeah, cool. Nice headshot, I think, and then a nice about me, and then actually using your LinkedIn is what's going to make it the most valuable. You know, maybe actually smile in your picture. Furious Smith. That's a cool name. Yes. A nice smile, like, you know, you don't want to look psycho, but like just like a nice smile. This one's probably a little bit too washed out. I think I know him. It says I have 42 connections, so I probably know him. But that's a little bit too washed out. So like, don't stand next to something that's behind your skin color. Like, I am not going to take a picture with the whiteboard as the background. So, you know, if you're standing by a wall or something, maybe not one that's the same like color as your skin, so you don't just blur as one page. Oh, there's Joy. You can be friends with Joy. All right. Any questions about LinkedIn? What should you put on it? Oh, did one of y'all befriend me? All right. Cute. Nice head profile picture. See all. Who are all these people? Oh, look. There's Christina. There you go. I'll be friends with her. I don't know any of these other people. But yeah. So use this. If you are not going to use this, don't make it. It's just garbage if you don't use it. If someone contacts you on LinkedIn and you don't respond, that's not great. Okay. Wonderful. What's next? Oh, I wanted to talk about one other thing real quick. I'm going to open my drive. Sorry if there's something horrible on there. I don't think there is. I think it's just like spreadsheets about my bills and selling jewelry. Oh, that's what I want. No. Oh, I want to show you guys two things that are helpful also. So I want to answer the question of how do I not oversell myself? Only put stuff that you're comfortable doing. So one, I have put stuff, this is all of the stuff that I have professional development experience on. If it'll highlight, it's taking a long time. This is all the stuff that I have done professionally that I have gotten paid for. These stuff that I have just done for funsies, I have put in personal experience. Oh my God. Oh, also my whole computer might crash because it's at its capacity and I need to figure out. Well, no, like for class is fine. Like you have development experience in Node, HTML, CSS. Like that is your professional experience right now. What do you mean?
Because you taught this class multiple times, so that means you're like really experienced with all the stuff in the class. So you would put this whole class.
Yes. And that's why I have the Node and the SAS stuff in here, because like I never use that outside of this class, but because, you know, I teach it, I got to know it. And then I put like other skills I have, like this AWS section, I should probably expand and put stuff in it. These are the CMSs I have, and then like soft skills. I gave you my hiccups, I'm sorry. This gold star, highlight, red underline, flashy lights, put version control on your resume. Put version control on your resume, put version control on your resume, put version control on your resume. I'm trying to give them back. Okay. What's that? What do you mean, what's that? It's easy. You know what version control is. That's like Git. It's okay. Version control is Git. That's what we use to manage our software. So that way we don't have all like the conflicts and all that. So version control, put Git and GitHub on there. Like I should probably put GitHub on this list too. But at the time I was only using the professional stuff. So I was using Perforce and SVN. So I should probably put GitHub on here too. So put GitHub on here. Put database skills on there and put any soft skills that you think are important. Like I've done a lot of team management, and so I put that on there. Nice little bullet points. I had someone else write these for me because I suck at writing these. Read this out loud, make sure it makes sense. I am a fan of the one-pager resumes. Those are my go-to format. We'll talk more in depth about resumes, I don't know, maybe today. But I want to show you two other things that I've done that has made my life a lot easier. When you are doing online applications, you're going to be doing a lot of filling out the same information. Put it somewhere so you don't have to type it out and go hunt for it. This is every single job I have ever worked in my entire life. And this is all the information that I frequently get asked for. And so I just put it here in one document, and here's where it is. So then if I need to do a background check, if I need to do an application, if I need to do a verification, anything like that, it's all here. So like when I had to do a background check for my new job, can you put Dean's List recipient if you're, yes, you still were awarded on the Dean's List. You can put that on there. Because you still got the award. Yeah. So put, this is like just a recommendation. I hate copy pasting stuff. I have no memory. If you're pretty young and you've only been working for like a year or two, maybe you don't need this, but I recommend making it. Put your address, location, your official job title, when you started and when it ended. So then when you do background checks or job applications or you apply for housing, you just have it all just existing in one place. And then, yeah, this is what I do. And then I've worked a lot of jobs, so this is like a crazy over the top document. But yeah, recommendo. The other thing I recommend y'all do as you start your career is to make one of these. You have to manage your own career because no one else is going to manage it for you. So this is a document for you to write down all of your wins and your successes. And so like these can be technical skills, these can be soft skills, like, you know, here we go. Like a year ago, I was excited because I was like, ooh, look, I can launch a Node instance from terminal. Exciting. Volunteered, reviewed a textbook, volunteered. Yeah. Restructured the whole class. And you just put little wins in here. And you know what these become? Your bullets. And then you can talk about all of the successes at your job. So I recommend having that, especially if you're one of those people that are like, I don't know what to write about. I don't know how to talk about myself. It's useful when you're feeling down on yourself too. Like when I have really bad weeks and then I sit down and write everything that went well, it does make it a lot better. Sorry, I think they double booked me for a meeting. Confusion. Oh, no, I'm just dumb. I put my meeting in 2 different calendars. Confusion. Yeah, you did all this stuff. Yeah, it is really like, it helps build up that skill too of like practicing how to talk nicely about yourself. And so if you don't have that skill, it can really help. And then you can look back and like see. And you're like, wow. So I do mine once a week. I try to write like 4 or 5 bullet points about things that went well. And like sometimes I put things that maybe aren't traditional wins, like, you know, I put failed a tech interview. That's okay, because I learned a lot. And sometimes it's simple stuff, like I'm like caught up on grades, because that's a win. Okay, so those are just 2 things that I recommend having for your own records. I also have an address one. Keep your certs for stuff. So like, you know, this is an online class that I did. Statistics, yeah, exactly. Keep this kind of stuff. This is an online course I did. Keep these. Have a cover letter that it's not really good. Volunteer time. That's what my resume used to look like. These are old pictures. Wow. They're really old. It's from like 3 years ago. Oh well. That's not what I want. Okay, so we did portfolio, LinkedIn. We talked a little bit about resumes, which we'll talk more about probably tomorrow. We talked about GitHub. I guess I'm just going to talk really quickly about, I'll just wrap up class with social media unless y'all have any questions about those kind of things. I think I slept weird, y'all, last night. My back hurts. I don't think I've been sitting too slouchy today. I don't know. We'll see. Okay, so let's wrap up with these social medias then. So I think Damien's way of doing social media is really nice. I follow both of his social media accounts. You can break it apart like that, have a personal and a private one. That's totally fine. You can have just your private one you use for fun. If you have a non-professional social media account, make it as private as possible. So like go into your settings, set it to friends only, set it to not share, like don't have it be doing whack stuff. My Twitter is super public. I just don't super care. So like mine's probably overly political and I should probably put less political stuff on my work Twitter, but here we are. I'm gonna probably have to go solve a fight. It sounds like Chandler's gonna go fight some people. So, you know, my Twitter's too political. I should probably have more stuff like this and less political stuff. Everyone who knows me knows I'm pretty political though. Exactly, yeah. So like for me personally, I'm not going to work for somebody who doesn't at least fall roughly in line with me, because like the way that I feel about stuff like is important to me. But you know, I do tweet about Neopets. If you have a professional Twitter, you can keep it pretty boring, and that's totally fine. I don't recommend, like, some things that you won't see on my Twitter are me talking about negatively about anything. Like, it is all very positive, except for when I got mad at Starbucks. I did retweet it when I got mad at Starbucks. But yeah, you know, I also recommend super using Twitter. Like, I've gotten to really talk to some amazing people on Twitter. Like me and this one, like, really popular tech educator. This dude, like, he posted, like, he was like, people doing online tech talks, you know, y'all need to be wearing a button down and standing, you know, and anything else is just less professional. And I'm just like, homie, have you heard of disabled people? Have you heard of other fashion options? So it was a fun time. I enjoyed dragging people on Twitter. But, you know, I do recommend Twitter for getting a tech job. There is a lot of stuff going on, and there's a lot of community online. And it's not super toxic. Tech Twitter can get really toxic, but it doesn't have to be. And in my experience, it's been pretty positive. So if you all want to follow me on Twitter, I will follow you on Twitter. And then I do try to post techie stuff. And it was techie for a while. And then, you know, it felt bad to be non-political. So here we are. Do be aware if you do want to do government work, though, you probably need to keep it pretty neutral. So about my skills make it go over. That's fine. Play with your margins a little bit. Reduce spacing between lines and that kind of stuff. And if it's just 2 pages, it's 2 pages. And that's just how it is. And that's okay. Print it front and back. But yeah. It's not a hard and fast rule. It's just my personal preference, and that's kind of the norm, but it's not the end of the world. So social media, don't complain about people. Don't get into Twitter fights. Don't be like, mine is probably too political. Like, my Twitter is too political. If I was actively searching for a job, my Twitter might be a negative thing. Just, you know, how it would be. I probably should also have an actual picture of me, not one of the little icons, but I think they're very cute. And I think that looks like me. So, you know. And I have a picture of me here, so it's fine. And then look at cross-post this. Put this on your LinkedIn too. Put your portfolio site on your LinkedIn, put it on your Twitter, put it on your Facebook, put it everywhere. I can see all the stuff I liked. Huh. I didn't know you could see everything that you liked on Twitter. The more you know. You can use Facebook and Instagram to, yeah. All the time, man. All the time. Anyways, yeah. My shocking political opinions that, you know, human lives have inherent value. Anyways, I recommend like a tech Twitter. I think that is worth your time. I recommend LinkedIn. I think that's worth your time. Professional Facebook and Instagram, probably not worth your time. Could you do something with that? Totally, sure. Hundo P, have fun, do it. But my order of recommendation is portfolio page, LinkedIn, Twitter, everything else. Real fast, just to wrap things up, I do want to show you, you can share your code pen. You can't send them back, they won't leave. What are you talking about? Oh, the hiccups, okay. I was real confused. Your CodePen has a portfolio. You can give it a header if you have the paid one. But you can make a showcase and put the things that you're most proud of, which I recommend doing. Let me actually zoom out so you can see what it looks like. So like I should probably go through and put new stuff on here. But then you can also see all of the stuff, which is really nice. So I recommend doing your showcase on CodePen. Especially because like a lot of you guys probably have like cute little demos. Yeah, I'm gonna have to go break up the fight, y'all. EBI. And then you can view all pens and see everything. You can play. Very nice. I I've genuinely gotten a job from my CodePen. Like, I was able to pull this up and talk through a lot of the stuff I was currently doing. Real quick before we wrap up for today, 2 things. Your homework, start working on that SQL injection thing. I mean, I think it'll technically be due tomorrow night, but go ahead and get started. It's finally all up there. What was the other thing? There was something else I was going to say. CodePen. Oh, I know. If you guys are looking for like a course or something that will provide you with structure after this class ends, I do recommend this. Stop. That's funny. I'll post this in Slack for y'all. I've done this. I actually wrote an article about my experience with this. So they email you a prompt every day for 100 days. And then it really definitely like makes you a better designer, in my opinion. And I wrote a blog about it. How do I see my post? Boop. So I documented what I was doing. And then, I wrote down like stuff I hated and stuff that I did well. And like, I thought it was super worth it. So yeah. So this is also like, I made like little fun things. So I recommend it. It provides you a lot of structure and keeps challenging you. So, play, have fun, recommend it. Very nice. So it's CodePen. I'll talk about blogs tomorrow because we're about out of time. Any questions about what I'm expecting y'all to do today, or any questions about creating an online web presence for a job?
Nope.
Excellent. All right. Other than that, I will see y'all tomorrow.
Bye.